In this video, we're going to be taking an in-depth look into the Master Lock No.5, a wonderful lock for beginners to learn on and to practice on. Hey folks, welcome to Pugs Picks Locks. If you're new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you'll always be notified when I release new content like this. And if you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, click that like button, and then leave a question or a comment down below if you have one. I don't always get everything right, so did I get something wrong? Is there something I could do differently, something I could do better? Please let me know. I'm always looking to learn from you so that I can continue to grow my skill set and my knowledge base and provide you with better and better content. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. So the channel that we're highlighting this week in the Shout Out of the Week segment is Beer Can Bushcraft. Beer Can Bushcraft has, as of making this video, 151 subscribers, and I definitely believe that he deserves more than that. So if we could all do our bit, hop over to his channel, give him a subscribe, watch some videos, give them some likes, that would be wonderful. Because Beer Can Bushcraft, not only does he do a lot of wonderful picking on his channel, he also does tool fabrication. For instance, in response to the video that I did on one of the videos that I did on tubular locks and how to pick tubular locks, I complained mightily about the Sparrow's goat wrench that I use. This tool right here. This tension tool right here. I complained a lot about this tool because although I love its functionality, the ergonomics kind of suck. As you're tensioning the lock, you have very sharp pointy bit digging into one finger and then a rounded bit that your thumb just slips right off of as you're trying to tension the plug. So Beer Can Bushcraft went ahead and fabricated his own tension tool. And that's just really freaking cool. And he has a video on that tool on his channel. So let's all go over, give him a sub, give him some views, give him some likes. The channel is well worth it, I promise. Okay. So let's take a look at our lock of the week. And this week we're featuring the Master Lock No.5. It's a very simple, straightforward lock. I know that in the Locksport community, we like to joke about master locks and about how if you look at them hard enough, they'll pop open. But really, it's a wonderful lock for beginners to learn on and to practice on. And to practice some of the basic techniques that'll serve you well later. They're all standard pins. You can see from the key here that it's a 4-pin lock. And we can see that the key works and it's a functional lock and everything. So it's a very simple core. It's a very simple plug. 4 pins. There are no security pins, so you don't have to worry about serrations throwing you off, giving you clicks. You know that every click that you get is a shear line click. There are no spools or other security pins that are going to give you a false set and counter rotation. So when you're starting out and maybe you're still a little ham-handed with the tension, you haven't really learned how to finesse your tension yet, it's nice to have a lock that you can have some success with, just kind of cranking the tension and not really knowing or having that delicate touch yet. And being able to ride the tension as you encounter counter rotation, or having to float the tension as you're trying to set a tree or something like that. being all standard pins, you know that every click you get is a shear line click. It's not a serration or anything else that's tripping you up. And one of the other nice things about just a simple 4-pin lock is you can start getting, if you can take a really shallow pick, and I'm using a Southord Pagoda hook here, as I very often do. It's my favorite pick. And you can take a really shallow hook and just kind of run it back and forth across the pins and kind of start getting a sense for the spacing of the pins and how to know when you're on one pin. There I'm on pin 4 versus another pin. Now I'm on pin 3. You can even do things like here. Like if I go sitting on pin 4, I can take a Sharpie and I can actually mark my pick. Put a little line on my pick, a little fine point Sharpie or some other marker or whatever, so that I know how deep my pick is. So now I'm on pin 4. I just set pin 4. That little click was a shear line click. So now I'm on pin 3. I could go ahead and mark my pick where pin 3 is. Another click. Now I'm on pin 2 and I could mark my pick where pin 2 is. Another click. And now I'm on pin 1 and now I'm open. So you can start to get a sense for where your pick is in the lock by doing something as simple as just taking a pick and just making little lines in it so that you know where each pin is. Knowing how deep you are, knowing what pin you're on, is one of the key things is one of the key skills to learn early on. And after a while, you start to do it by feel. But at first, it's like, what pin am I even on? What pin am I even manipulating? And this particular lock luckily picks in order, 4, 3, 2, 1. Locks are always easy if the binding order is sequential. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So being able to figure out binding order and being able to know exactly which pin you're on so that you know that you actually are hitting which pin. So as you're trying to figure out the binding order, if, for instance, it's not, but if 1 were the first pin, I know that I'm on 1 because of the mark on my pick. I know that I'm on 2 because of the mark on my pick. Or I know that I'm on 3 because of the mark on my pick, or whatever. In terms of decoding the binding order, it becomes a much easier thing when you actually know for a fact what pin your pick is resting on. And that's one of those core skills. That's one of those core skills that beginners need to learn, is to control their pick depth. In terms of tension, I'm using this little bicycle spoke Z wrench that I always use. And I'm using bottom of the keyway tension. You could also do this with top of the keyway tension. And these nice, generous keyways that you'll find in this Master Lock No.5. This nice, generous keyway gives you the opportunity to practice both bottom of the keyway tensioning and to start practicing and learning top of the keyway tension so that you can practice both tensioning techniques with a single lock. And of course, now I can't even open a simple master lock. I overset something in there. But anyways, you can practice bottom of the keyway tensioning and you can practice top of the keyway tensioning so that you get a sense for what you prefer, what works for you. For instance, I most of the time prefer bottom of the keyway tension, celebratory swivel. I prefer bottom of the keyway tension most of the time, but not all locks let you do that. So having a lock that lets you learn both bottom and top of the keyway tension really gives you a great opportunity to figure out A, what works for you, what works best for you, and B, what each technique feels like, how it feels different, and so you can start to develop your own favorite techniques, your own biases, and all that kind of good stuff. But basically, simple little lock. Simple big lock. It's a chunky, I think it's a 50 millimeter lock. It's that's, not the most difficult thing in the world, but is a great learning tool. So anyhow, Master Lock No. 5. Any shallow hook will do you. In this case, like I said, Pagoda, Southord Pagoda hook, and a tension wrench. And you don't have to use a bicycle spoke tension wrench, Z wrench, like I'm doing. You can use your standard L wrenches for the bottom of the keyway. You can use a thick pry bar. Like I said, that's a really generous keyway, so you can use like a you can use like a 50 thousandths pry bar or something like that for top of the keyway. But they're really great, and I actually use this particular lock as kind of a fidget activity, like a fidget spinner. Like if I'm sitting and watching TV, I won't even pay attention to the lock. I'll just have a pick in it, tension wrench in it, and I'll just sit there as I'm looking at the TV, not even looking at the lock, and just practice opening it over and over and over again, just to develop your sense of feel. And I actually advocate for not looking at the lock as you pick it. Instead, look at the lock inside your head. Imagine what's going on inside the lock. Imagine how deep your pick is in the lock. Imagine the pins moving. Be able to see it and visualize it inside your head. So yeah. Master Lock No. 5, bicycle spoke Z wrench, top or bottom of the keyway tensioning, and a shallow hook, and you'll be on your way. If you're a beginner, you'll be well on your way to learning the basic skills needed to become an accomplished picker. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, remember to drop a like and leave a comment or a question below. If you're new here, subscribe and ring the notification bell for more content like this. Until the next video, happy picking y'all.